Hello and welcome to part 3 of my Pandas series. In this video, we are going to look and focus on how to import data into your Jupyter Notebook. Now, I know there are tons and tons of resources out there and a bunch of different data sets you can pull from, but I'm going to recommend my top 4 places to get data from with an added bonus. And how to navigate one of those websites and pull data down, and then start your exploratory data analysis with that data set. Now, I did mention there are 4. These are the big 4, and they are ranked in size. So UCI, University of California, Irvine, is probably the best place to get data. There are 500 data sets on there, and they are you don't need to do much data processing with them to pull them in. They're there for you to just jump in and start to work with right away. Now, Kaggle and GitHub, also 2 great resources to pull from. Kaggle runs a bunch of competitions owned by Google, and you can follow along with people as they work on data sets, and it's a great place to work with others and to see how other people are doing data analysis or machine learning. And you can pull down data sets from there. GitHub, I've posted some of my GitHub links on this channel before, and you can pull down data sets that other people have posted and have worked on, and it's really cool and fun and easy to work with as well. Both of those places you need to create accounts, but they're free, and it's totally worth it to access those great wells of resources. Data.gov is another place. That little tiny guy up there is another place to get some data. Probably has more data than all 3 of those previous items that I've listed before, but it's messy. It's not always easy to access, and a lot of it's junk. But if you dig hard enough and you search long enough, there are some really solid resources on there. Lastly, Data.world and Makeover Monday. Makeover Monday pulls a data set from Data.world every Monday, and they create a visualization. So if you want to get inspiration and to see what other people are doing and see what's going on with data viz, this is a great resource to start and get some inspiration and maybe inspire some practice, and you can see if you can recreate some of those weekly visualizations on there. So I'll post all those links in the video description. Go ahead, make sure you go ahead and check those out. Let's jump over to our Jupyter Notebook, and we've talked about this before, but after all your files on your folder, there are your Jupyter Notebooks, and then lastly are your data sets. Now, if you don't have a data set in there that you want to work with, you have to go and get it. And I talked about all those places you can go and search for data. So let's go over to the UCI. Let's go over to University of California, Irvine's repository of data sets. And if you're in school, if you're going to school for any type of taking any type of data classes, you've probably been assigned homework from this website. I know I have, and many other people that I work with have as well. And it's just a great resource. You have the name of the data set, you have how many records, how many columns, what year it was published. It's just a great place to really start working with data and to kind of test your skills and develop some good practice there. So we're going to pull from this concrete compressive strength data set that has over 1,000 records. So all of those data sets are linked, and they link you to a page. You can find the data set description, which just tells you a little bit about the data set and a little bit about probably each of the columns. We're not worried with that. Let's just go to the data set and download it onto our computer. You can see this file is an Excel file. This concrete data set file is what we are going to download here. We're going to save it onto our computer. And let's call it concrete data. I think I've downloaded this before, so let's call it concrete data 1. Save that. Alright, let's open that, and let's just take a look at it here in that Excel document. And hopefully it pops up. That's not the data set we're looking for. There it is. Okay, so we can see that we've successfully downloaded that data set, and we see all the column headers there, and we don't really need to explore this in Excel, but we can just make sure it said if there's 1,030 rows, 1,030 rows. We can take a look at these other sheets here, and oh, that's interesting. These sheets are blank, and that could potentially cause an issue for us when we import this into our Jupyter Notebook. So let's just delete these. So right-click, delete that, right-click, delete that, and we're just left with sheet 1, which is our data. So let's save that, and let's head over to our Jupyter Notebooks. All right. So from the home page on your Jupyter Notebook, we need, now that we've downloaded the data set onto our computer, we need to pull that into our Jupyter Notebook. It doesn't do it automatically for us, so we'll need to upload that. So if you, top right hand corner, hit that upload button, and it's going to browse our computer. And the last thing that, going to just go to the quick access, and the last thing we downloaded, click that. And now we see that that concrete data set has populated, and it's asking us one final time, do we want to upload this data set? Yes, we do. Click upload. It's just going to take a second there. And let's go all the way down to where our data sets are kept. And I've downloaded this a few times. This is concrete_data1. That Excel file is what we just uploaded. Let's highlight and copy that. So Control-C to copy that, because we're going to need to call on that exact name of that data set when we pull that in. That box does not need to be checked. We just need to get that exact name. Let's go and create a new notebook, new Python 3 notebook. And now we are in our new notebook, and we need to import Pandas, because Pandas is what is going to allow us to bring this data set into our notebook. So import Pandas as the conventional name, PD, Shift Enter to run that cell. Now, once that asterisk goes away, Pandas will be uploaded into our notebook, and we are going to name this data set just data, and we'll need to now reference the data set we're pulling in. So pd.read underscore, it's an Excel file, and so if you had a CSV, you'd put CSV there. It'd be pd.read underscore CSV, or what have you, JSON, all different types of data you can upload into your Jupyter Notebook. And now this is where we need to name the data frame. Control V, because I have it copied, and this is the name of the data set in our Jupyter Notebook library there. Okay, so we can Shift Enter to run that. Shift Enter. All right, now our data set is inside of our Jupyter Notebook, and we can start to manipulate that data set and work on it and clean it if we need to and perform any machine learning. But we just want to, just for verification, a sanity check here, we just want to make sure that that data set has made its way into our Jupyter Notebook. So we can do data.info, open brackets, Shift Enter to run that, and that's going to tell us all of our column names, how many rows of data for each column, how many are not null. So we have a full set of data here, and the data types, and it's going to give us a little breakdown of that here, all the data types. We have 8 floats, which are decimals, numbers with a decimal, and then integers, numbers without decimals. So that's cool. That verifies that that data is inside of our Jupyter Notebook. One other thing we can do is take a little snapshot of the first 5 records, the first 5 rows of that data set. So we call data.head is to see the first 5 records. Shift Enter. Now what we have here, we see the columns and the first 5 rows of that data set. We can also call data.tail to see the last 5 items, and that's going to pull up the last 5 rows of the data set. And from here, you can start to work with your data from that data set we pulled down from UCI's website. And it's going to be the same process regardless of where you get your data, and the cleaning can all be done here within your Jupyter Notebook. I hope you learned a lot. I'm going to post all the websites and resources I talked about in this video in the description, so make sure you check those out, and happy data exploration.